Alright, so today we're going to be telling a story, something I don't normally do. Usually I just show gameplay clips, but I figured I'd go out of my comfort zone and tell a story. So this story happened pretty early, English. Anyway, this story happened earlier today. God, not even more than 2 hours ago, right? And this was possibly one of the most embarrassing experiences of my life. And today we're going to talk about it. So, I have a grandma on my mom's side, which is no shit, obviously, but her and my mom's biological father are divorced. And for the sake of the story, we're going to call this my mom's biological father Bud, right? We're going to refer to him as that. And he was a really unhealthy, just didn't take care of himself, and that's going to be important later in the story. And anyway, we are going to have dinner at my aunt's house. We were, right? So we had to go pick him up. And this was already shit show, no pun intended, from the start. And we started off, we went and we picked him up, and after we went and picked him up, it was already just horrible. He smelled, and it was just not good. But just before that, we were driving, we went and bought coffee. It was great. We're having a great day. Yeah, I played video games for the latter half, but anyway, we go and we pick him up. And just on the way there, it was really awkward. He has dementia or whatever, so he doesn't even know who me and my sister are. So it was pretty interesting hearing him talk and not have any clue that me and my sister exist. So that's kind of funny. But nevertheless, we got there. We were spending time with family. We were just talking. I was spending time with my little cousins. They have a really nice dog, and I was just kind of petting the dog and playing games on my phone, spending time with my younger cousins, right? And anyway, during the time we were there, we ate dinner, right? Now, my grandpa doesn't take very good care of himself, or Bud, for the sake of the story, he doesn't take very good care of himself. So he has no control over his intestine. And that's going to be very important later in the story. So anyway, we're spending more time with family. We're just kind of talking, eating. And after we finished dinner, we spent another, 30 minutes or so there. And nothing really interesting happened, so I'm just going to skip over that. We got, to the point where we were about to leave. Everyone's saying goodbye and all that. And anyway, he has to go to the bathroom. Now, he only spent 5 minutes. He didn't finish going to the bathroom, is what I'm saying. So anyway, we get in the car, everything gets situated, and all of a sudden he starts breathing really heavy and tells my mom to just go. Just go as fast as she can in her car. So she listens, obviously, knowing what could happen. Little do we know is ticking time bomb. I should not say it like that, but it's a very shitty surprise. There we go. Guess that sounds better. Anyway, little we know he's a ticking time bomb, so she decided to take a little bit longer way around, just more convenient to be facing a faster drive home. So anyway, we're taking this route, and all of a sudden he's breathing really heavy and says, I gotta go to the bathroom, right? And he can't hold it, because I mentioned, he has no control over his lower intestine, because he's older than the dinosaurs, and he probably sat behind Jesus in the 3rd grade. And he has to go to the bathroom now. So it's kind of an oh shit moment, again, no pun intended, but anyway, we're going, and all of a sudden, he just freaks out and says just pull at this point he was gonna shit his pants. So we have to like pull over at the bottom of this hill outside someone's house, like outside their gate. And we like, my sister quickly grabs a bag of like Goodwill clothes that we're gonna leave anyway, right, and be thrown out. She grabs a bag of these clothes and just like dumps them out into the car and just like hands the bag. And this old man and my mom run out there, puts his pants around his knees, and just starts taking a shit at the end of this dude's driveway. Just full on takes a shit at the end of the driveway. Now, me and my sister started dying laughing because it's the funniest damn thing we've ever seen. But, you know, it's really embarrassing for my mom because she's standing out there with this 70-year-old man with his pants around his knees who's taking a shit in someone's driveway. That has got to be the worst thing that could happen to someone. Like, I cannot imagine anything more embarrassing than being the old man in the story time shitting at the end of someone's driveway. Anyways, he finishes up and wipes his ass with like Kleenexes because we didn't have toilet paper in the car because we're normal people and you shouldn't have toilet paper in your car, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, he finishes, gets in the car, and no one wants him to touch like anything. Like, we lay an old shirt down for him to sit on. But then 4 minutes later, when we go into town, right, he says he has to go again. 4 minutes later, we get into town, and he says he has to go again. So all of a sudden, we're put in this position, and all of a sudden the car just starts to smell, and it occurs to everyone that he just shit his pants on the seat. And he's not wearing anything under said pants, right? And he just shit basically on the seat, like on a nice leather seat. So it smells like the damn car's on fire. And it is really gross. Like, everyone's like plugging their nose at this point. And he's sitting there. And once we get to like the nursing home or whatever, like the assisted living place, he just like gets out and just, it is awful. Like, it smells awful. We have to roll all the windows down. My sister like wraps that shirt in another shirt and goes and like tosses it away. Like, absolutely awful. But then my mom gets back in the car and we start talking about it, right? Now, needless to say, this was possibly the worst, like, most embarrassing experience of my life. And it smells super bad at this point. But we're talking about how the car lost basically all value because some old man just shit a watery shit through his pants and like fused with the seat basically. So it smells horrid inside the car. And everyone is like super grossed out at this point. But we roll the windows down, the smell starts to die down a little bit once we get close to our house. And we start trying to call my aunt's house that we were just at, right? To tell her about it. And she doesn't pick up the phone. So anyway, we call back a little bit later. We tell her all about it, and she's overjoyed that this didn't happen in her house, right? Where you didn't, like, take a shit on the floor. But needless to say, this was the most embarrassing. Like, this wasn't even embarrassing for me. This was just secondhand embarrassment of watching a grown man shit his pants in a car. Anyways, I'm gonna end it off here and get to editing it. So, if anyone watches this, see ya.